everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Cougar Connection, your inside look at the people, programs, and creative voices shaping Kean University. I'm your host, Khalees Miller. Today, we're taking you behind the scenes of one of the most exciting student organizations on campus, the Kean University Film Association. This is a group of storytellers, directors, editors, and content creators who are building real film experience while still in college. They produce short films, host workshops, collaborate on campus projects, and create a space where anyone interested in filmmaking can jump in and learn. Joining me today are two members of KUFA who play key roles in shaping the organization. We're thrilled to have them here to talk about their work, upcoming projects, and how students can get involved. Let's welcome our guests. For viewers who may not be familiar, can you explain what the Kean University Film Association is and what the organization aims to do on campus?
So Kean University Film Association, we are a student-led, student-run film club here on campus, and we try to typically meet like once every other week on Thursdays. We take anybody from any grade level, any major, and with any level of experience, and our goal is to educate our members and with the help of our e-board on how to use equipment, how to edit, and especially how to write and direct their own stories and make sure their voices are heard.
What originally drew each of you to KUFA? Was it a passion for filmmaking, storytelling, or something else that made you want to join?
Well, what drew us into the club was both. It was both filmmaking and storytelling, because I grew up watching a lot of movies and TV shows, and I always thought of becoming famous on TV in the future. And I actually wanted to stick to acting, but I had to learn about the basics first about filmmaking, so I switched it to my dream to become a filmmaker instead.
What initially drew me was I started in this club this time last year because my roommate was on the e-board and she told me, oh, I know you're starting out as like a film major, and I was telling you, I used to be a music major in community college, so I was starting at like bare minimum level of knowledge of, okay, I know what a camera is, do I know how to edit? No. Do I know how to do this? No. And she was like, come to like our general body meeting, come see what we're about. It's just gonna be me, my friends, and a bunch of other people we know on campus, and putting projects together and everything. And the rest was history. I really enjoyed it from there, and I was able to get a lot of my personal work up off the ground thanks to their help. And I appreciate it a lot.
Awesome. Walk us through a typical KUFA production from the moment an idea is pitched to the final edit. What does the process look like?
Typically, we try to do writers' rooms at least once or twice throughout the semester. We just had one last week, where we sit down with our members and we ask them, okay, we know you guys have ideas that you want to share. What is it about? What do you have so far? And that usually helps us get to know, okay, what do we need to do to help them? Like for example, somebody came in with an idea that they wanted to do, but they're like, I personally don't know how to write. I've never directed before. So we give them advice on like, how to write a script. We give them the rundown of what it's like to direct their own pieces. We do our best to like, not like handhold, but guide our members to be able to do the best work that they could possibly do, and to make something that they are proud of, which we usually try to showcase at the end of the semester. Usually after we get like the writer's room process done, we help them organize film locations, film dates. We help them find cast and crew, which is very important because we work with the school's Kean Theater Council. That's where we get most of our actors. So we network with them a little bit, get our actors, get our crew together, and then we usually try to find time to shoot. From there, sometimes they'll edit the material themselves. Sometimes we'll do it for them. And then the end product is usually their final film, which we show at our student screenings at the end of the semester.
Awesome. Yeah. College students come from all different levels of experience, as you have shared. How does KUFA support members who may be brand new to cameras, editing software, or script writing?
Well, we usually, when it comes to introducing students who are new to it, we try to figure out what could be best for them, what could be good for them, who want to try script writing or filmmaking. And we try to, oh God.
It's okay.
workshops and upcoming events and film screenings.
Yeah, so like Tyreek was saying, usually with new students, what we try to do is we're gonna, especially next semester, we're gonna try to have some workshops and some demos on how to learn to use the equipment. Usually what we do is we go to the Cage, which is in Cass, and it is the equipment rental system here on campus. If you buy the insurance at the top of the semester, you're allowed a full calendar year of being able to rent and use their equipment. It's like a library system. So usually what we try to do is if people need demos on equipment, we'll rent stuff like in advance of like the next general body meeting, and we'll let them film things. We'll teach them how to, direct, how to use the camera, because sometimes it's a bit of a learning curve, and that's perfectly okay. We usually do that, and we're also trying to do some other workshops. Like we're gonna have like a screenwriting workshop hopefully next semester, and we'll have a director's workshop. Those two specifically, we're gonna try to aim to further independence a little bit. We're gonna help them write scripts. We'll write one as a group, and then we'll all edit and act in it together. And I think that's a very good thing to be able to, let your peers do, is to be able to give them the tools so then that way they can make a better career out of what they've learned and learn and further on their own experiences.
Awesome. You've both worked on several KUFA projects. Can you share one project that stands out as a personal favorite and what made it memorable?
Well, it's not really part of the club, but my favorite film project was a project that I did for Film Production 1. It was a therapy session, short film. It was for a final. And I think what made it memorable was making a script about how the conversations between the therapist and his client would go. And I tried to do the best I can with the film, and it turned out pretty good.
Nice.
The one that I remember the most, obviously we all get wonderful amount of work coming in and out of each semester, but the one that I remember the most is the first project I worked on when I got here. It was done by my friend Helen. She was the president before me, and one day, I want to say it was October this time last year-ish, she reached out to me and she was like, hey, I'm putting together a short film for a final for a class, and I need actors, and I need people who can help me with camera work or whatever. Would you be interested? And I was like, sure, what's it about? And she ended up pitching me this script about, there's this group of 3 guys who go out in the middle of the night, and they're being stupid sometimes, as college-age students do, and they accidentally wake up this spirit in this forest, and they anger it, and then the spirit starts going after them, one by one, terrorizing them. Really, really fun. So I got to be spoilers a little bit, I got to be the guy that dies at the very beginning, but then I also got to be the monster as well, and I got to run around and haunt my friends in the hallway. There was one specific point that I remember very, very vividly. We were in, where were we? We were in one of the bathrooms in Cass, filming my friend Lucas's, I guess, death scene, in quotes. And it was really fun because I got to learn a lot of things that day. I got to learn how to play with fake blood, which, oh my goodness, special effects is so fun. So fun. And I also got to, be the monster for the first time. So I had my little costume on, and Helen was directing me okay, what I want you to do is do this. I want you to be creepy in the corner. And there was one point that I remember having to bend backwards and crawl across the bathroom floor to pretend to get Lucas. It was a very, very fun process, and it was a very, very fun project to work on. It's one of my favorites.
Fun.
Yeah.
In student organizations, collaboration is everything. How does KUFA build teamwork and communication within projects so that everyone works together smoothly?
What we usually try to do is try to stay on as a need-to-know basis with not only our members but our e-board as well. Usually we try to schedule our meetings at least a week or so in advance, so then that way we can get spaces, we can get all the equipment that we need to. But we also emphasize having connections with other clubs. Like I mentioned earlier, we usually try to stay in touch with Kean Theater Council because, sometimes they need material for their acting reels, and we need actors, so that works really well together. We also try to keep connection with you guys here at Kean TV. There we go. And I think that's really, really important to emphasize community and connection across the different clubs here, because not only do we all help each other out, we're able to make connections, we're able to make new friends, and we're able to get a lot out of it, you know?
Yeah. Many students are curious about the technical side of filmmaking. What types of equipment or editing tools does KUFA use, and how do students get trained on them?
Well, we usually use either the Panasonic cameras or the Blackmagic cameras, and it's usually trained by students who go to film classes like film production 1, 2, and film editing and digital video production. And in both of those classes that I was in digital video and film production 1. Oh, and TV Studio 1 too. We were both trained how to use the cameras and how to edit and how to use the graphics and all that stuff. And it was pretty fun to do.
Yeah, like Tyreek said, taking comms classes and taking film classes will be your best friend, because the professors here, who I've all met so far, are absolutely wonderful. They go completely in depth, and I was just at my film editing class earlier, and you'll learn so many things that you never knew before. Like Premiere Pro specifically, that's mainly like the editing software we use here at school. It's so detailed, and I'm trying to find a nice word for it, intricate, because it can be really, complicated. And my Professor Rue, who's our advisor, she's wonderful. She was able to help me and my classmates a lot with learning new things and learning all these different little tidbits and tricks that I didn't even know were there. So those are definitely very important to look into. But especially us as eBoard, we try our best to answer everybody's questions as best we can. And we do have a couple of people who are really, really well trained in camera equipment, editing. Our director of photography, Shamar, he's wonderful. He's done amazing camera work. Usually he's here with us when we have shoots to give us advice, or he's always a phone call away. That's another thing we try to emphasize. If people need help on their shoots, at least I always try to say, hey, I'm a phone call away if you have any questions. If you have any problems, please try to contact us. We are more than welcome to help. We are more than available to help you out with whatever you need. So I think emphasizing that is very, very important, especially in a club like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
What upcoming events, workshops, or film shoots should Kean students look out for this semester or next?
Well, in a couple of hours today, we're going to be having our first film screening this semester. And we're going to be looking how far the progress the students have made with their short film projects, and hopefully it turns out pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, obviously this is going to be posted way after, but if anybody you guys want to make it, it's tonight at 7 o'clock. We're going to be in CAS, plugging it. Yeah, so I'm very excited for that, because we're going to be screening a lot of student work. A lot of people were saying, they had stuff from classes that they've done and also extracurriculars, so we wanted to do that, and we're trying to keep it as a tradition at the end of every semester to make sure that people get their work seen and they can get critiques, and also just get the fun experience of watching it on a big screen. I think that's very important. But what else are we doing? We don't have anything in particular penciled in yet, but once we come back from winter break, we'll pick up doing general body meetings again. We'll do some of those workshops that we were talking about. I don't have a date specifically, but again, we're usually doing Thursdays every other week during college hour, unless exceptions like today. So yeah, keep your eye out, especially on our Instagram, Kean Film A. Yeah, Kean Film A. Yeah.
Perfect. Filmmaking is competitive and creative. How does KUFA help members develop skills that will be useful beyond college, whether they want to pursue film professionally or explore related fields?
I feel emphasizing the editing side of things is very important, because then that way, Adobe's very difficult, but at least learning how to navigate Premiere Pro and other adjacent products can definitely help you learn tools like DaVinci Resolve, which is another editing software. I also try to emphasize the need for organization. Me personally, I'm a horrible procrastinator, and before I started getting into the film major stuff here at campus, a lot of my stuff would be very, not disorganized, but a little all over the place. So at least what I try to do is be hey, make sure you organize your footage, make sure you organize this, organize your shot lists, because I feel organizational skills are important, not only here, but can be applied to so many different other fields, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For students watching who want to get involved but feel intimidated, what would you tell them? How can they join, and what's the best first step to take?
Never be afraid to talk about your ideas. Don't let anybody tell you what. Don't let anybody tell you what you're not going to be or what you're not going to do. Be your own path, and we'll be open to listen.
Exactly.
And never give up.
Exactly. I very much agree with Tyreek. We are friendly. We do not bite. I promise you. So you can pitch us any idea that you have. My best piece of advice is if you want to get started on something like this, if you have an idea, just make it exist first. It doesn't have to be polished, doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it on paper and then talk to people about it and get their advice and all that good stuff. And like I said, we take anybody from any major, any, skill level, any grade. So we're all in this together. We're all learning as we go, We're all peers at the end of the day. We all go to school together. And I think that's very important to remember.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for joining us today and giving us an inside look at the Kean University Film Association. It's inspiring to see how much talent, teamwork, and creativity goes into everything you produce. If you're a student who wants to learn more, whether you're experienced, curious, or somewhere in between, KUFA is open to new members and new ideas. Be sure to follow their social media pages for updates on meetings, film shoots, and workshops taking place throughout this semester and next. That's all for today's episode of Cougar Connection. I'm Khalees Miller, and thank you for watching. Stay creative, stay curious, and as always, go Cougars. We'll see you next time.